Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a demo slash review on the new Dominique Cosmetics collection. This is the Moment collection. So she actually came out with an eye base, and she also came out with an eyeshadow palette as well. So this is the Moment palette here, and then this is the Everlasting eye base. This retails for $12. This retails for $49, which is kind of on par with all of her other palettes. Kind of on par in general with just high-end brands, but the quality of this palette is so nice. I love the design. You open it up and you are getting 10 different eyeshadows. You have got some shimmers in here. You have got kind of like chrome type of shades. You've got creamy mattes. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a swatch of all of these shades. All right, this is Stepping Out, Mesmerized, and Life of the Party. Oh my god, look at that one. De Niro, La Noche, Elevated. Look at that matte. Then you have Essential, Embrace, which is like my skin tone, After Hours, which is gorgeous, and then Midnight Haze. All right, so out of all of those swatches, really the only one I wasn't that impressed with is this one right here, which is La Noche. And of course, that is that dark black. Now, for me, dark colors can kind of be intimidating, specifically black. So for me, I kind of like that it's a lighter intensity like that. That way I can be more careful and kind of build it up to what I want it to be. So for me, I like that, but it's kind of just, you know, preference. So we are going to go ahead and get in with this eye look. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started with the eyes, and I'm going to start with the Everlasting eye base. Now this is pretty affordable. It's $12. That's not a bad price at all. There's just one shade. It's in the shade Nude. This is what the product looks like here. I like how simple it is. Honestly, it looks very classy. I am going to go ahead and prime my lids with this. Now, as you can tell, I like the little applicator too, how it's clear like that. Now, I am going to just put this on my finger. It looks like a concealer type color. I may have put too much. Usually you only need a very little bit. I'm sure that that was way too much. Okay, so I put that on, and I am going to blend that out with the brush that I always use for my eye base, and I'm just going to pat this out. Now, as you can tell, I don't have anything on my face currently. The only thing I have on is my moisturizer and lip balm. So I'm going to do my eyes first, because in this palette, I'm going to tap out the edge right here. In this palette, there is a lot of very sparkly shades, and so I just want to make sure that I don't have any, you know, glitter fallout on my cheeks. So now that canceled out the color really well. It honestly feels kind of moisturizing too. I like the way it feels. It's not like drying at all. It's actually pretty thin, so yeah, a little bit goes a long way just because this really spreads, but it still has a lot of coverage. So that's like the best of both worlds. It's thin, but it has a lot of coverage. It's covering up all those veins on my eyelids very nicely. Now, the edges right here, I always like to blend this with my finger just because, you know, this is where your foundation would be. So I just really like to make sure that that's blended and there's no like excess product there, if that makes sense. All right, so this is the eye base. I really like it, and I think that that's a very affordable price. This will last you forever. When I say forever, I'm probably saying, you know, if you use this every day, this would probably still last you a year or two. So I don't think that that is a bad price at all. Next up is the Moment palette. I think this palette is so gorgeous. I purchased this right time it released on her website, and I actually got this for free. The first 24 hours she had a discount code where you could add this and this to your cart and this would become free. So I picked this up immediately. I was hounding the website looking for this, and it is just such nice packaging. First off, this is like a nice hard plastic packaging, and then you open it up and look at all of these shades. So obviously I'm going to be sticking more in like the army green type of realm, but I mean, man, there are some stunning shades in this palette, let me tell you. I also picked up a brush from her that I'm going to try to use today. This is the DS03, the Shade and Blend brush. So you can pack, you know, color on your lid, and you can also like blend into the crease with this. It was $7 and I got that to get free shipping. Getting the brush was cheaper than paying the shipping, so clearly. All right, I'm going to take my Laura Lee Los Angeles brush. This is number 26. Any big blending brush will do. And I think I'm going to start off, I think the first color I'm going to put down is this one right here, this Embrace. And I'm going to pull this off. It's got a nice big mirror in here. This is so satisfying pulling these off. And of course, she has got a little quote. She's got quotes like with all of her stuff, and I think it's so pretty and just like a nice touch, you know what I mean? So it says, letting go is the key to happiness. And that is in green on this mirror. So I'm going to take that like white shade just because it's really like my skin tone, and I'm going to blend that all into the crease because I think it will help us blend out this next shade that we're going to use, which is this one right here. I'm going to use the shade Stepping Out now, and I just want it to be very smooth whenever I blend it. So I just thought that if we did that step, it would be foolproof. Oh yeah. Even though her mattes are usually super creamy anyway, if you saw my collection video, I have got a lot of her palettes, and that is because I am such a fan of them. The quality of the eyeshadows is just, it's amazing. I feel like, again, enough people do not talk about this brand in general. It's kind of like Ace Beauté, where it's just so good, but nobody is really talking about it. I don't understand. But yeah, these, I feel like her palettes are really made for kind of like the everyday woman, and they're just so easy to use. It's like no fuss products. Now I'm taking that brush that I got from her brand, and I'm going directly into the crease. This is a really, really nice shape for crease work like this. The bristles are super soft. Now it's obviously going to get stained and looking gross from the first use, but this is such a good quality brush, honestly, and I love how I got right into that crease. Now I'm kind of torn on what I want to use. I think that this is nice. It's got like a little bit of green in there, but then when you look at it, it looks a little blue, so I'm going to swatch this one. I don't know, I don't think we're going to use that today. We're probably going to go with this Dinero shade. All right, so here are my two shades that I was looking at. Ooh, I don't know, that one does look really nice. Okay, and then there is the Dinero. This one is such a cool shifty shade. I'm going to use this one, and that is the shade Mesmerized. It is ironically a mesmerizing shade. So I'm going to take the shade brush again, and again I'm going to go back into this army green. This is a matte army green. You guys know, if you have been watching my channel for any length of time, I love, love, love green eyeshadows. I love grungy looks. I think they are just so flattering. It's like a unique smoky eye in my opinion, and I love those type of looks. So I'm going to pack a little bit of this into the outer corner, and I'm going to take my finger now and I'm going to go into that Mesmerized shade, but you can tell it kind of looks blue, it kind of looks red, but then whenever you swatched it, it looked like greenish gold. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. So pretty. And that's all I'm gonna do for today's look, guys. I mean, what, 2-3 shades. Looks like I spent a whole lot more time than I did. I am gonna go ahead, clean this eye up, do the other eye. I'm gonna do the rest of my face makeup, and then we'll be back for the lower lash line. All right, guys, I am back. I've got the rest of my makeup on, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I've got on the rest of my face. So for foundation, I used my MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This is in shade NC12. It's a pretty good match for me, not perfect, but it's pretty good. And then for concealer, I am using my CoverGirl True Blend. This is in shade L400, which is Classic Ivory. And then I set everything down. I set like where I put my concealer, which is where I want more coverage. I set that with the MAC Studio Fix powder. This is in NW13. And this is what that looks like. As you can tell, I love this powder. This is actually my second one of these. And then everywhere else on my face where I wanted it to be a little bit more glowy, not so flat, I used the Mineralized Skin Finish powder in the shade Medium, and as you can tell, this medium is very, very light. And like I said, I set all over my face with the exception of the areas that I concealed with this. For brows, I used my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I did go ahead and put on my mascara, and I accidentally put on my lower lash mascara, so we'll have to see how that goes as far as putting on lower lash eyeshadow, but I used the NARS Climax. And then for the rest of my face, I actually pulled out this Becca Chloe and Malika collection face palette. This is the one that Chloe did, I believe. Oh no, this is the one that Malika did. But I love this. I love the one that Malika did so much. This is a matte bronzer. And then I love these two shades. Becca powders are so freaking good. And again, I'm so sad that the brand is no more. And then for lips, I put on this one from Bite Beauty. This is the shade Sugarcane, and it is just a classic. It's such a nice, like, light ballerina pink is what it reminds me of. And that gets us caught up. All right, now I'm going to attempt to do the lower lash line and not make a huge mess on my face. All right, I've got you guys pulled in a little bit closer. I'm gonna take my Lunar Beauty. This is the number 6 brush. It's just like a little pencil brush. It is stained, but it's clean. And I am gonna go ahead and use this Stepping Out shade yet again. Tapping that off, and I'm gonna try to get under my lashes and just kind of smudge this along there. Would have been a lot easier had I not already done my mascara. But you know, stuff happens. All right. I think I am gonna put on a little bit more lower mascara after we do this. All right, so I'm really just putting that matte army green all along the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take this little smudger type brush here, and I think this is too close to my actual skin tone. I don't know. We can try to see if that'll work as an inner corner. Yeah, to me that's just not bright enough. I think that's more kind of like a shade to help kind of blend out other shades. So I'm going to take the highlighter that I used today, which is normally what I do anyway, just so stuff kind of is cohesive and blends together and everything. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner as well as this inner third here. All right, I'm going to do that on the other eye as well, and then we'll be back for final thoughts. Okay guys, so this is the finished makeup look. Now let's go over like thoughts. Now this eyeshadow base, I will have to continue to test out, but I do think the coverage was there. I think again, this would last you forever and it's a really, really good price. So we'll see, kind of stay tuned to see if this shows up in like a favorites or something like that. But off the bat, I do like it. So you know, we'll have to continue to kind of test that out. That's one of those things that you can't really tell, you know, first use how it's going to perform. And it's something that I need to see how eyeshadows, multiple different eyeshadow brands wear on top of it. Now, the palette, she killed it with this palette. I love this palette so much. It may be one of my favorites from her. I love the outside design of it. One, so beautiful. But then you open it up and I feel like this is a very kind of unique color story. I love this turquoise. I love this like royal blue down here. You've got like a shiny black as well, but it's got some glitters in there. And I think that could be like very interesting mixed in with any of these shades. Honestly, like this one and this one in a look I think would be gorgeous. You can do very neutral looks with this as well. I'm thinking, you know, these two shades with this one, very neutral looks, but then you can really amp it up and get like a night out type of a look. The way that she described this palette is when you want to shine, because I know the photo shoot that they did with this palette, it was in the sunlight, and these eyeshadows, the way that they catch the light, they were just sparkling and glimmering. So I think, you know, she said if you're going out to a party or if you just want to shine any day in particular, that is, you know, kind of the feel behind this palette, the inspiration behind it. And I can definitely see that. These were fantastic quality. I love the colors that I used, and I feel like we really only used 2 shades that actually had, you know, pigment that showed up on my lid. And I think it looks like we used a whole lot more. I think it looks like it took a whole lot more time than it did. This one here, for me, I could see even like setting my under eye concealer with this shade just because her mattes are so smooth and creamy. But other than that, as far as like eyeshadows, I think this is really kind of just like a blending out type shade. It's not going to show up, like if you're close to my skin tone, it's not going to show up on you. So that's the only kind of downfall. I kind of wish we had like another interesting like duochrome type of shade like this one that I used today. But either way, $49, you are getting 10 different eyeshadows. I don't think that that's a bad price. I mean, and the packaging and the quality is so good. These eyeshadows are so easy to use. Clearly, I am a fan. Also, I really liked that brush that I used. I would be interested in picking up, you know, more of her brushes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.